Hey, it's the home of rock and roll, I95. It is the morning show. Ethan, Lou, and Large Dave with you. We have a special guest that joined us in the studio here today, sir.
That's right.
He is originally from Katona, New York.
Yeah, you're good.
You're on. And he is actually the owner of Berkshire Mountain Distillery and the Pass in Sheffield, Massachusetts. Chris Weld, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio with us, sir.
Wonderful to be with you guys.
Wait. There we go. Now you're on.
Now I'm on.
There you go.
Yeah, I can hear myself now.
Yeah.
It's great to be with you guys. I grew up listening to the station, so it's fun to be back down in this environs.
It's great, man.
Yeah, thanks for making the drive down. Yeah. We appreciate it. So tell us about the Pass. This dude raves about this place.
I love what you do for a living.
We can't keep him in the state of Connecticut because he's always driving up to your spot.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'd swap with you for a couple weeks. I wouldn't mind playing some tunes.
I don't know. When I did take a tour of your facility back in 2020, I got to go into the trim room for a moment. And I got to speak to a couple of the guys that were doing the trim at the time. And I had that idea of like, this may be the best job on the face of the earth. And then I watched them actually do work for about 20 minutes. Labor.
It's work.
It's labor.
Yeah.
You do not take things lightly up there. You guys do serious
This is a cannabis
work.
facility. Did we make that clear?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Right. Yeah. No, it's not my bedroom. So not my living room. So it is labor. I think the people we have working there. We have about zero turnover, so it's a good spot to work. And the people really have an affection for the plant. They like the smell of it. They like the look of the plant. They like the effects of the plant. And, a lot of them find that it helps with their lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I've been a recreational user my whole life, basically. At times I've thought about getting my medical card because of the tax benefits. You also, I know Massachusetts does sell recreational and medical products. Is it the same structure up there? If you have your medical card, it is tax-free?
Correct.
Okay.
We are just rec. We do not have a medical license.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You are just recreational itself.
Yep.
You know what I'm curious about is the business side of this thing, and then I've heard from, and that's a completely separate thing, like these vape shops that just sell like vapes, like nicotine vapes,
right?
Like getting banks to work with them and processing their payment. Do you, in your business, run into, is that an issue, and how does that work?
So the funding of the company is pretty much all private. You can't go to a bank and try and raise money to start a cannabis company. It's just federally illegal. So they haven't passed the Safe Banking Act yet. So when you talk about how we handle cash at the store, half the transactions roughly are cash, half of them would be a debit card. But the cash goes to a bank that's committed to handling cannabis cash. It's kept separately from all the other cash in the bank. And it's, sent out in aliquots to the Treasury, and they document it so they can prove that it's not some shady drug deal.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
It's amazing the hoops that you have to jump through.
So armored car pickups, and out west, when it first started, there were a lot of people who would bring the cash home with them, and they'd get hit on the way home or when they got home, so people stopped doing that. And so Mass mandated that we use an armored car service to carry our cash.
And state by state, legal in certain states, and yours in Massachusetts, of course, here in Connecticut, but still the fact that it's illegal federally, does that ever hang over your head?
Not like it used to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I don't think anything has changed from a voting perspective in this country as quickly as the legalization of marijuana cannabis did.
Yeah.
So it's 60-70% approval rate. I think what hangs over our head is that it's a Schedule I substance like LSD or heroin, and it. So because of that, we have a pretty onerous tax burden of about 50% or so, versus a typical corporation is 20%. So
is there a move to change that classification?
There's a big move to change that. So we'll see what happens with the Trump team coming into office.
And I know you said it kind of happened quick, and yes, it did. But if you sit back and think about it, the weed enthusiasts have been working their asses off in such a unified way for decades to change the mentality of this. I remember High Times Magazine reading that and how coordinated an effort it was. And I was always surprised, like, hey, how do we get all these weed people so busy?
Well, I mean, and even still, there's a big stigma behind it, right?
Yeah.
So people park around the corner at the shop, or they don't want to talk about it. So but it's changed. It's changing quickly. That stigma is definitely dropping off the cliff.
You have the unique situation of one of a few people in this world that have a business relationship with Jim Belushi. Could you explain?
Is that right?
Explain how that works.
Sure. So we, it's all about the genetics, right?
Yeah.
So cannabis you can have crappy genetics. Can I say that word?
It's okay. Yeah. You're good with that.
And in the best grow facility and the best grow team, and you're still going to end up with mediocre weed. If you have incredible genetics, you have the potential to have incredible cannabis flower if everything goes well. So we have a company we do a lot of work with, Local Roots, who's a Mass-based company, and they had a relationship with Belushi Farms. They do a brick hash for them. And then because of the relationship with Local Roots, we developed a relationship with Belushi as well. And so we have a lot of their genetics that we grow, and it's packaged under their brand, and Jim comes out and pimps a brand, and he's great. You know, he's involved in the brand and a huge cannabis enthusiast. So wonderful genetics from them. We just grew a bunch of apple tarts, which is, I think it came in at 35 or 6% TAC, and, you know, 3% terpenes, which is huge. And so that our grow is in the vernacular of cannabis, like, dude, our gear is fire right now. So
good.
Like, everything is all cylinders are firing.
Well, that's something that I was mentioning. We were talking about off the air before. The difference that I find, just from being a Connecticut resident, my wife is her family's from Springfield, Massachusetts. So I go up to Ludlow pretty much every other weekend, and there is Connecticut caps the THC levels in their flower at 30%. There is no concentrates available in Connecticut. Connecticut dispensaries also, from what I understand, there are only 4 suppliers or 5 suppliers at this point. In Massachusetts, how many wholesalers are there? And your facility is very unique in that you have it all in one place.
Yeah, I would say the answer to that is too many.
Yeah.
So there's a glut right now, which is tough if you're on, you know, the production side of things, because people are trying to get rid of product on the market that they grew too much. Fortunately, we have a store. We have some good partners that we work with. But I think it's great for the consumer. I mean, right now, the flower pricing has dropped significantly in Massachusetts. We have an incredible selection right now. We just got 15 tests back, and I think 7 of them or 8 of them were over 30% TAC. Very high on terpenes, which is actually probably more important than the TAC. We can dive down that if we have a minute. And so we have, I mean, the benefit is that gets passed on. So next we have the week of Thanksgiving, we have this Green Wednesday, and for the whole week we have incredible, you can't say sales or deals or anything like that, but the selection and the pricing is just staggering. We have tons of great cannabis right now that we're firing out.
So we have a lot to accomplish in sort of a limited time. We're going to come back with a second segment and talk about your Berkshire Mountain Distillers facility, which I'm excited about, I'll be honest with you. Where can people go get more information about the Pass?
Pass.co.
Okay.
And we, sign up when we have these new drops of great flower that's coming out. Follow us on the website. Sign up for an email.
I just got the reminder that you're going to be doing something this week. Yeah, I got to find it.
Look how excited you are. Look at how you're behaving. Look at yourself.
You guys see me. This is...
I know he doesn't want to get off the couch to go around the corner, but he leaves the state to go to your place. This is my guy here.
It's worth it.
Apparently it is.
We're like a straight shot. We're probably the closest dispensary to your whole listening area.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I got the I'm signed up for App Alerts, and I have your the thing right here. It's coming in on a Wednesday special, I believe. That I was just seeing right there.
Nice.
I am signed up for your marketing.
How happy you are. We'll be back with Chris in just a few minutes to talk about the booze side of things here. There's some beautiful bottles in the studio.